What is up, everyone? I am Bishop Brawler, and you are watching the 11th, I believe, episode in the Road to 802 series. Today, for the first time in the series, we're going into Ubers, and we're playing around with Palkia. But it's a new tier for the series, so that means we're gonna have a discussion with a member from the community of that tier. And as such, I am going to send you over to myself from the past, as well as Aberforth, to talk to you about Ubers. I'll see you guys there. And we're back, and I am joined by Aberforth to have a discussion about the current Ubers metagame. Introduce yourself, man.
Hello, I'm Aberforth. I play Ubers. I also play some Draft League, but Ubers is my main home, my main tier. Not done as much as I'd like recently, but there are reasons for that. They'll come obvious in the future, so yay.
Alright, so let's get this going then. We'll start off by talking about the most important new additions to Uber's metagame in Sun and Moon. Let's start off with Solgaleo, if you're okay with that.
Sure.
So can you talk about what Solgaleo does? I have no experience in Ubers whatsoever. I'm going to leave this one up to you.
What Solgaleo does, I believe that the technical term is sit there and look pretty, because it doesn't really do anything. It's unfortunately not a great Pokemon in the meta. Just with the presence of Primal Groudon and the other meta trends, things like Marshadow, Solgaleo is just not that good. It can run Z-Splash, and it can run a defensive set, but it's not a very good Pokemon, and normally people just go for a different steel type. Something like a Magearna or a Celesteela or a Ferrothorn are the chosen defensive choices. And offensively, you've got things like Mega Metagross and Mega Lucario, which can just blow it out the water. So yeah, Solgaleo it's not awful. The Z Splash set is one of my favorite things to use on webs and stuff. But it's just not a very good Pokemon, unfortunately.
Okay, so that's interesting because when as far as theory mining went before Sun and Moon started, I was like, oh, Solgaleo could be kind of cool. It's the first steel type in Ubers with reliable recovery.
Yeah,
so
I really, really like Solgaleo as a concept, and I like using it. It's just that the way the meta is, Steel Psychic isn't a good enough defensive typing. Obviously, it can deal with Xerneas, but even then, you've got things like Primal Groudon on every team. You've got things like Ho-Oh that it struggles to deal with. You've got things like Marshadow, which pressure it. You've got Arceus forms. They're always too bulky for it to beat 1v1, unless you're running Toxic. But if you're running Toxic, then you're either not running the Dead Splash sets, or you're... if you're running Toxic, you're not running the Z Splash set. But you're also more susceptible to all the other steel types, like Celesteela, maybe not Magearna, because you can normally beat Magearna 1v1, but things like Ferrothorn are a huge annoyance to you. The big one is obviously the two fire types in the tier, though. Ho-Oh and Primal Groudon, they're just too present for Solgaleo to do its job as it would like to. And if we had a slightly different tier with less good hazard control, more rock setters and stuff like that, and Ho-Oh was far less prevalent, then I think we'd see a better meta for Solgaleo, but it's just not that great right now, unfortunately.
Right. Well, that's kind of unfortunate for it. It does have a sister, though, Lunala. How is that in the current metagame?
Again, Lunala, it was amazing up until Marshadow's release. It was the best Scarfmon. It was a very good break. It had a good Z set. And it's not awful right now, just at the same way it used to be, but Marshadow is just almost better in every way. And with the presence of Marshadow being something that can revenge kill it on every single team with Shadow Sneak after as much as rocks damage, Lunala is just not good, unfortunately. It's not... Marshadow is less prevalent now. The meta's taken a shift towards the bulky, which is in favor of Lunala. Something like a Z Hypnosis set with Calm Mind does favor that, but Marshadow existing just means that if I'm ever wanting an offensive ghost type that isn't an Arceus form, then I'm pretty much always going to use either Mega Gengar or I'm going to use Marshadow, and Lunala just doesn't really have much in the way of those two, which is just unfortunate for it because it's a really cool Pokemon, and it was one of my preferred mons to use in the start of the meta, where before Marshadow existed, and it made having a Ghost Resist on every team pretty much mandatory for a long while. And then Marshadow just came out, and Priority Technician's Shadow Sneak is just too much for a 4x weak mon to deal with. So yeah, unfortunate, but that's the way it is.
So does Lunala's access to Psyshock help it at all when breaking something like Blissey or Chansey?
I feel like it does, but equally, normally on teams with things like Blissey or Chansey, you would see a Pursuit Trapper, something like a T-Tar or a Alolan Muck. Alolan Muck, especially back in the February or so of the meta, was everywhere on the Chansey team, and so Psyshock wasn't actually as helpful. The Z Hypnosis set, which is the only set that I really see nowadays, runs Calm Mind, Hypnosis, Moongeist Beam, and Focus Blast. And it can still break through Chanseys if it gets lucky or if it gets enough boosts up, but Psyshock isn't that much of a factor just because Ghost is a much better typing, and Psychic it's okay as an offensive typing, and Psyshock for hitting Chansey and Blissey is nice, but you'd rather have the Focus Blast to hit the Darks that want to wall you.
Right, so basically, both of them got kind of screwed by how the
both of them aren't great. Yeah, both of them aren't great, unfortunately.
Right, so I'd love to say that the third Pokemon out of that trio is also really impactful, but it's Necrozma, and kind of unfortunate.
Well, you can pretend that the third of the trio is Marshadow, which is a massively impactful mon, though, because genuinely, I think it's the third best mon in the tier. I feel like Marshadow is just that good. I talked about it a little bit with Joey a little while back at Pokegame, and we were saying that we think it's the mon behind Xerneas and Primal Groudon. The extent it's had on the meta, the effect it's had on the meta has made the meta so much better, in my opinion. It's so much more fun to play. It gives you so much more freedom in building. Just earlier today, I was trying out a SD Terrakion team. It failed miserably, but it still had enough about it to work sometimes, just because of the way that the meta has been shaped after the Marshadow release. It nerfed the things that was restricting Ubers massively, and not in the way you might think. It wasn't nerfing Primal Groudon, which is obviously still amazing, and it didn't nerf Xerneas at all, but it nerfed things like Arceus. Arceus offensively is far rarer now because Marshadow just hammered it into the ground as almost the perfect counter to E-Killer and SD Arceus Ghost and things like that. And the meta shifted more towards a skill-based meta, whereas before it was more of a matchup-based meta, and it's something that I cannot stress was such a good thing for the tier.
Right.
I cannot stress it enough.
Would you say Marshadow is the biggest, the most impactful release on any metagame?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Like
the only one that's come close in the only one that's better than it is, Xerneas and Primal Groudon, which both were released last generation. But compared to most new entries, things like if you go back to Black and White, you get Reshiram, you get Zekrom, Kyurem White, Kyurem Black. Yveltal's still obviously good, but it's better than of the mons. It's better than that were released recently. It's better than Zekrom, Reshiram, Kyurem White, Kyurem Black, all the Tapus. It's better than Solgaleo, Lunala. It's better than Yveltal, in my opinion. It's better than so many things. Better than Primal Kyogre. It's had such an impact, and not just in terms of how good it is as a standalone mon, but the effect it's had on the meta is so much more than any of those mons. Kyogre is just overshadowed by Primal Groudon, the effect that Primal Groudon had on the meta, which Marshadow can't touch, being honest. Primal Groudon's just too good. But the effect that Marshadow has in changing the way teams are built and changing the way they are played, the influence that it's had is greater than any Pokemon aside from Xerneas and Primal Groudon.
But a slightly different question. You know, sometimes we get these releases like Marshadow that are halfway through a generation. Would you say...
without a question, it's better than any of the other ones of them. Like Diancie and Magearna and what other examples are there?
Do you think that includes other tiers, though? Do you think it's... Like, if you look at every tier and every Pokemon that was ever released midway through a generation, do you think Marshadow in Ubers is the most impactful?
I would say yes for one kind of reason. More because the others that could be contenders, like Feraligatr getting Sheer Force and Superior getting Contrary, and those are the only ones I can think of, by the way. So if you've got any other options to chime in, feel free. But
I was
those
considering
tended
Magearna.
to get Magearna. Would you call that in the middle of a generation? It came out in like the third week or something.
Was that? Oh, I don't remember when it was. Okay, that's fair then. That's fair. Right.
But even so, I would say that I personally feel Marshadow has had more of an effect on Ubers than Magearna has had on OU. And I say that as someone who hasn't touched OU in months, so take that with a grain of salt.
Well, that makes two of us. Well, actually, when this video goes up, I released an OU video last week.
Oh, sweet.
Okay. Whatever. Let's move on from Marshadow. Let's go to Zygarde-Complete, which was really hyped, I believe, at the start of generation, and then kind of fell off.
It had a weird relationship. Sorry if I just made a bunch of noise accidentally, just kicked something. It had a lot of hype because everyone was thinking it was going to be the next Primal Groudon. It was going to get a massive buff to all of its stats. And then it was released that the only stat that changed was HP, and everyone just started going, oh, well, it's still going to be dog shit then, because it's got no attack, it's got no SPDF, it's got no good speed, stuff like that. And so for about a week or so, it was allowed in OU because everyone was sleeping on it. And then everyone realized, oh, no, shit, this extra HP thing, it's got 600 odd HP. It's as fat as fucking Blissey. And suddenly everyone started using it. And then the hype died down a little bit because everyone's thinking Rest Talk is just so passive. And then the Coil set came about. And Zygarde's a good mon. It's still good in the meta because of things like Marshadow, because of things like Ho-Oh. Obviously not countering, but dealing with most Primal Groudon variants are good things. But it is still... It's nowhere near as impactful as people were hoping it would be before the start of the generation. I remember a fair few people were hoping that it would be the fall of Primal Groudon. They'll just be perfect cancelling out to each other. And it's not that. It's not going to be that ever. And I think we were all just kind of overhyping it in our minds when we saw the art for it. We were kind of thinking, oh shit, this is going to be the most broken thing ever. This is going to be like Mega Rayquaza or something. And it's not that good, unfortunately. It's
also, I this is one complaint I have about Zygarde-Complete. Why is Core Enforcer special? Can it was,
I know.
that when that video was released with Core Enforcer, everyone was like, at least I was like, holy shit, that's a cool ass move. It's gonna spam the shit out of that. That and 1,000 arrows together would be great. And then it was special.
They made it a special, unfortunately. There's no excuse for that, but oh well. It's still a good mon. Like, it's still a very good defensive, physically defensive wall. But it's just not as good as we hyped it up to be, unfortunately. And I'm sounding so downtrodden about it. It's better than Lunala, and it's better than Solgaleo. It's the best Gen 7, in quotes, mon that we've had. But it's just not that good, unfortunately.
Yeah, it seems like Gen 7 actual Ubers kind of got shafted this time around, except for Marshadow.
It's not bad. It's not bad. It's just not as good as we wanted it to be.
Right. Yeah. Anyway, so those are the only 4 Gen 7 Pokemon that actually are Ubers. The rest is hasn't been banned yet. That's pretty impactful still, though. But it doesn't mean that there's nothing was released. Of course, there's Tapu Lele.
Pheromosa.
Pheromosa. Oh, right. Pheromosa.
Which is completely irrelevant and hasn't been seen in Ubers in about 7 months. So I can completely forgive you for forgetting about it.
Right. Pheromosa. Yeah, I mean, we could potentially talk about everything that was banned from OU that you guys have, but that seems kind of useless because I did that in the OU video, and most are irrelevant. So let's skip ahead of that.
It was just I heard only 7 Gen 7 Mons are Ubers. I'm certain there's one more. There's one more. It's one that I've not thought of for ages. What is it?
Poor Pheromosa.
I remember actually thinking that Tapu Lele was going to be in that list. I thought that Tapu Lele would be banned from OU back in the very start.
I still think Tapu Lele might get banned from OU.
It could be, but
But speaking of Tapu
I was
Lele-
expecting it to be like a quick ban along the likes of Aegislash and stuff like that, but it turned out not to be.
Speaking of Tapu Lele, we can actually talk about what that does in Ubers. You suggested before recording, so
Yep.
go ahead.
Tapu Lele is the basis of Psy Spam teams. It hits decently hard. Like it's not a weak Pokemon, but it's mainly there to give Life Orb, Deoxys, Psycho Boost with Modest Nature an absolute nuke. Ho-Oh, if EV'd correctly, can live a +2 Thunder from Xerneas. The same Ho-Oh EV spread dies to a Psychic Terrain boosted Psycho Boost from Life Orb Modest Deoxys. Life Orb Modest Deoxys is so powerful, and not being able to revenge that thing with priority, oh god, that's a threat. So it's more Ubers for its support capabilities, as opposed to its actual presence, but it's not weak, and there's a good taunt set that I've seen running around. Scarf is also one that I personally like, so I can deal with things like Marshadow and some faster Pokemon like Modest Yveltal and things like that, which is quite nice. It's more of a support mon than it is an OU. It's obviously a very good one, otherwise it wouldn't be relevant at all. And but the thing is, it's not got much flexibility in its teams. The teams are always pretty much going to be Tapu Lele, Deoxys attack, Groudon, probably a Geozone on there because you like the fact that you can't get Revenge Killed by priority, and then 2 other Philemons, probably things like Mega Salamence, and one real actual choice between each team. So yeah, that's the issue with Tapu Lele. It's very one-dimensional in Ubers in terms of the teams it can be built on.
We can also mention that Tapu Lele in Ubers is literally the only use Terrain Extender has in all of singles outside of ZU.
Outside of what?
ZU, which is a tier that I play, and which we can talk more about after the recording. But Terrain Extender has a use there, which
okay.
Let's skip ahead of that for now.
Okay.
So yeah, Tapu Lele basically a support Pokemon that enables Deoxys, basically.
Yeah, basically. You do get the occasional other Tapu in the tier, but they don't make any enough of an impact to mention them, really.
All right, let's go ahead to the next one that you also suggested, which was Celesteela.
Mm-hmm.
So if you
Celesteela is the best Ultra Beast, without a doubt, and it's better than Tapu Lele is. It's just such a fat physical wall. Giving it Leech Seed and the typing it has, and Toxic, it just 1v1s so many physical threats. It's unbelievable. For example, if you Leech Seed, you can literally stay in on a fire-punching Primal Groudon. You Leech Seed, you take about 70 or so percent. Leech Seed brings you back up to half. You protect, and then you're at about 65% or so, and you can switch out and come back in later on in the game and just be very annoying. And you've weakened the Primal Groudon and made it really easy to wall for your other mons in your team. Or you can Toxic it as well and stuff like that. And it's such a good utility Pokemon in the tier. It's easily the best Ultra Beast. It's better than Tapu Lele. It's about on par with some Uber's mains like Primal Kyogre and Giratina Origin and things like that. Just because of the Leech Seed, Heavy Slam Protect, and Toxic set, which just 1v1s. I've literally had it 1v1 teams. I've been in a position where I just lead off Tapu Lele, I click Leech Seed, and then I click Toxic, and then I repeat.
Wait, I'm going to interrupt you real quick. I assume you mean lead off Celesteela, not lead off Tapu Lele.
I did indeed mean Celesteela. I do that from time to time. I apologize. I notice it in my own videos occasionally. I'll just go back and think, the fuck? Why did I mention fucking Sudowoodo? I didn't mean Sudowoodo. Or some other random Pokemon. And it's not intentional, I assure you. I do indeed mean Celesteela. It's normally used on fatter teams that tend to be quite weak to things like Gothitelle, which is seeing a bit of a rise nowadays. But it's still just an amazing Pokemon and puts in a huge amount of work in almost every game that I've played with it. So yeah,
right. So
worth having.
So those are
the other one to really talk about would be Magearna. I did mention it before because I forgot about it, but then was midway through one of the Pokemon we were talking about, and Magearna suddenly came to my mind. Magearna's there to soak up hits from Xerneas and Yveltal and do basically nothing else in exchange. It's just there to sit there and look pretty and mean you don't lose Geozen. Can fit a couple certain teams, but I don't personally like it.
It has hard swap, which is cool. I think it uses that.
Yeah, it uses that for Xerneas, and it also occasionally uses the random CM Arceus form like Fairy or not so much Dark anymore. But it's basically there to beat the XY Legends, and that's it. It's kind of unfortunate that that's the fate that it has, but that is the fate that it has. So,
yeah. Okay, so now we are going to be transitioning to Pokemon that have already been in Ubers, but are still very impactful in Sun and Moon. And as a perfect transition, basically, is Arceus forms in general got access to Z moves, which they can have items now, which is completely unique. Can you talk about what that did?
At the very start of the meta, it meant that SD Arceus forms ruled. Things like SD Arceus normal, E-Killer, has almost always been good in Ubers. Arceus-Ground, Arceus Ghost. I saw a couple of Arceus Rocks. Those were the ones that really used it. For defensive Arceus forms, you're almost always going to want the plate instead, because Judgment does not change type with the Z-Crystal, which is unfortunate. But you don't ever want to be in the position to click your Z move and you've got Judgment instead, or you do less damage. So defensive Arceus forms, it makes no difference because you're still going to use the plates. You can't be knocked off anyway. But the SD Arceus forms got a massive buff and were pretty much omnipresent. They were everywhere and on almost every team, and you had to have a lot of answers to them because otherwise the +2 Z Shadow Force from Arceus Ghost or the +2 Z Earthquake from Arceus Ground was going to tear you a new one. They got worse as Marshadow was released, which is just amazing because they were very hard to play against and very hard to prep for, and were strongly limiting the meta. Marshadow just makes it that no one really wants to bring them because they don't want to have to try and deal with a +2 Marshadow, and they don't want to switch into a Marshadow and things like that. So yeah, they're pretty much a neutral. The only one you'll really see nowadays is Z Arceus Ground, because that can pair best with the natural Marshadow answers, things like Xerneas and stuff like that. But you'll still see a couple of them occasionally running around the lower ends of the ladder as well. So yeah.
Do people run special Z Arceus at all?
No. I was trying to come up with some situation like maybe Z fighting Arceus would like it, but nah. The only thing I've ever even seen close to that would be Z Grass Knot Arceus Grass, but even then, the plate does as much as the Z Grass Knot. So if you just do the Z plates, because Grass Knot automatically sets it to like 160 or so base power. With the Meadow plates, Judgment is base 145 or something. So there's no point.
Right. Okay. That makes sense. I was just wondering, see if something if something existed. Anyway, that is the Arceus forms kind of fell off when Marshadow arrived.
Yep.
And then there's the absolute god of Ubers that has been here since generations, since Auras. Yep. Primal Groudon.
No, Primal Kyogre. What are you on about? Yes, Primal Groudon. Primal Groudon is on every non-stall team and on quite a lot of stall teams anyway. It just sets rocks and just sits there. It beats Xerneas, it beats Steel types, it beats Primal Kyogre. It can be a setup option. It can be it hits damn hard because even without investment, 180 base attack is monstrous. It gets access to SD, Rock Polish, Eruption. The Fire type actually helps it quite a bit, giving it stab on its Fire type moves. Lava Plume in particular, it sits there and it does so many roles for the team. It's almost the definition of role compression. Like, think of Landorus T in OU and how many things that can beat, and how many things it does for your team, giving you things like Intimidate to help with Mons, giving you Rocks, giving you a Stall Breaker with whatever Z move is popular on it right now. Groudon gives you all of that and more to a ridiculous degree in Ubers. Did I disconnect?
No, you're here. You're here.
Yeah, but that's the good. Sorry, my internet. I told you before we started.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the good thing about Primal Groudon. It's just good in almost every way. I don't think there's any role that you could get it to do that would be bad at. No, I take that back. If you're ever running Bulk Up, don't. You laugh. I saw a Bulk Up one earlier today.
Oh my god.
It made me sad.
Well,
it made me most sad. It made me most sad because I couldn't actually break through the fucker.
Not even Surf Rayquaza.
SD would have beat me anyway. So yeah, Primal Groudon is amazing on every team. Prep for it, or you will lose. So yeah.
I've been
the other one to sorry, you go.
About Primal Groudon, I've been of course using your team, your Palkia team, which is also going to be used in this video, and there's an SD Primal Groudon on that. And when I saw that thing after one boost has over 1,000 attack, I was like, wait, this is kind of stupid.
Oh yeah, it's so good. You could make that thing Eruption as well. You could change it from SD to Eruption. You could make it Chinese Primal Groudon with Overheat, SD, Precipice Blades, and Stealth Rock. You could change that to me a Double Dancing set, because I think it's currently a Rock set.
No, it's Double Dance. It's Double Dance.
It is Double Dance, okay. I misremembered my own team then. But yeah, so many amazing options on Groudon. And its worst set is like the third best mon in the tier. So it is so good in almost everything it does. It'll always do something amazing. And if you don't, the only exception to this is on hard stall teams because it doesn't get Synthesis. If Groudon got like Synthesis or Soft Boiled or something,
or Morning Sun,
it would just be insane. Or Morning Sun, yeah, or Moonlight as well.
Would actually make sense and give it 75% health back because Sun.
Oh yeah, that would be insane. But it doesn't get that, thankfully, and don't suggest that to Game Freak, okay? But it's just an amazing Pokemon in every way, and yeah, just I can't put it into words. You know how good Primal Groudon is.
Yeah. Basically rule number one. But I was building for this video with someone else, and we started with Palkia, of course. And then the first thing he said, we need a Primal Groudon. It doesn't even matter what the rest of the team looks like. We need a Primal Groudon.
Oh, dude, like if I'm building a team, legitimately, the very first thing I do is I come up with a concept, such as I want Sticky Webs with Palkia, and then the next thing on is Primal Groudon, and then I leave it for the rest, and then think, okay, what do I need this mon to do? Do I need it to be a special wall breaker because I've got Eruption, HP, Ice? Do I need it to be a mixed rock polish setter? I've got that. Do I need it to be an SD rocker? Okay, now I've got rocks options. Okay, can I go Double Dance? Because Double Dance is an amazing threat. Yes, I can. Let's go with it. Like, it's so... I genuinely have it as the mon that I put on the team after I've decided on the concept. Like Palkia or like with Zekrom or something. And it will always put in work. You don't need to have the same set all the time, although I do tend to use something like a Raw, Precipice Blade, Stealth Rock, and Lava Plume set because it's just very good at doing what it does. But it's so good in every way. It's just impossible to overstate how good it is.
Yeah, so, okay, let's move on from...
Not as good as Mega Rayquaza, but that got banned.
We can talk about Mega Rayquaza, actually, since usually I talk about... Every ban that was done in a tier, I usually talk about that. I didn't bother doing that for Ubers because Ubers didn't ban anything this generation, but we can talk about Mega Rayquaza if you want.
If that ever gets introduced back into Ubers, I'm going to...
You're going to?
RU, any other tier. I'm not playing with Mega Rayquaza.
Is it really that bad? I haven't never experienced it, so...
Yes. Absolutely it's that bad. Like, it's good to the extent where if it is allowed and you are not using Mega Rayquaza, you lose.
Oh.
And if you are using Mega Rayquaza, it'll come down to a speed tie.
Oh. What?
It is that good.
Okay. Well, it has like 800 BST, doesn't it?
Something like it's got the same as the Mega Mewtwo's. But the difference is Mega Mewtwo's aren't Mega Rayquaza. They don't have Dragon Dance and SD with things like Dragon Ascent with the ability to hold an item.
And they can't hold an item. That's what makes Mega Rayquaza so cool.
It's a Life Orb Deoxys attack with okay defenses and a slightly worse speed, but it's so good. Like, it's honestly unbelievable. It gets SD, gets Dragon Dance. That thing sets up a Dragon Dance, you lose the game. It's insane how good Mega Rayquaza is, and if it's ever unbanned from Ubers, I'm leaving Ubers. It's too good.
I don't think it's ever getting unbanned. Just hearing this, I don't think it's ever gonna happen.
Oh no, like, yeah, absolutely not. No.
Unless we get like Klefki, but extreme, that can actually wall it or something like that.
There's nothing that could wall it. Like,
maybe
something that can wall a regular Rayquaza.
Right, it has V-Create.
Like if you name me something, any Pokemon that can wall a regular Rayquaza, not a Mega, just a regular one.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
When you can come up with one that can switch in and avoid the Tuakio on any option that regular Rayquaza has, yay. But now picture that with Deoxys attack level stats and its move pool. And no feasible weakness to exploit because it gets rid of all the flying type weaknesses it has as well. It's an insane Pokemon, and it's never getting allowed again.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Anyway, so let's...
It's more balanced in doubles, like in VGC and stuff, but...
Yeah, it didn't even... It saw barely any use in VGC 15, I believe it was.
Yeah, that's the thing. It was more balanced there, because of the format and the restrictions on movesets and things. Like, you couldn't have V-Create on it and stuff like that. But it's just too good for Ubers.
Yeah. Alright, so let's go to the second best mon on Ubers right now, which is Xerneas, I believe.
Yep.
Yeah. So Xerneas was always Geomancy Sweeper, and it got Z Geomancy as well this generation, so you can just talk about what it does now.
Oddly, Z-Geomancy isn't as common. Fell down in uses, not because of Marshadow, although this is the first I've been able to say that this video. It just fell down because people started using more steals like Pheromosa and Celesteela, and people started using options that would beat it, as opposed to just letting it set up an Ingrain and then a Z-Geo and then win. But now you've got things like Celesteela and Pheromosa and Magearna more often. Magearna less often, but the other two more often, and finds less room to set up, and things like that just mean that Zed's Geomancy isn't as good as it once was. It's still a threat that you still got to take into account, but you can normally deal with it.
So, real quick, can you talk about exactly how this set works?
Though, has been in an upswing recently because you've got things like regular Geomancy that can just run Focus Blast, Thunder, Moonblast, and +2 Oko all the steals that are running around trying to check it. And that's not very nice for Xerneas answers because, hey, your Celesteela just dropped my +2 Thunder, and your Primal Groudon is at like 50%. That's in range of my Moonblast. Yay. And Xerneas just wins. Geomancy Xerneas is such a good win con. Yeah. Like, you know what Xerneas does. Everyone watching you will probably know what Xerneas does. Geomancy, for anyone who doesn't know, gives you +2 speed, +2 special attack, +2 special defense, with a mon that has pseudo-choice specs on all of its stab moves. It's insane.
So can you real quick talk about how exactly the Z-Geomancy set works? Because it's super unique, of course, because it's just really weird set.
Long,
there?
awkward pause.
You there?
I unplugged my headphone by accident.
Oh.
I unplugged my headphone by accident.
Okay, are you back?
I am back. My apologies.
Okay, so can we talk a bit more about Z-Geomancy, because I have never seen a set that unique, that weird. To me, it's a strange set.
It's still okay. Like, it's still not a bad set.
But like,
it's just
what this set does, as far as my knowledge is, it sets up an Ingrain, then gets Z-Geomancy, which is an Omni boost, right? +1 on every stat.
Yep.
and then waits
And
an
then it
extra
gets the
turn.
regular Geomancy and gets the +2 in the rest of the stats. And it runs, pardon me, it runs Rest, like Rest, Moonblast, Ingrain, Geomancy. And it means that all you do is just sit there and tank hits. You can't be status because you've got Rest. You get passive recovery equivalent to leftovers because of Ingrain. And then you just set up Geomancy. You're at +3 special attack. Nothing's outspeeding you because you're at +3 speed. And then you can just Moonblast. And if things don't die, they can't kill you. And you can eventually just rest and stuff like that. So that's the premise behind it. There are a couple of steals that can beat it. Things like Ferrothorn, as I mentioned, and Celesteela, as I mentioned, because they've got Leech Seed and they've got Stab, high-powered Steel-type moves. But yeah, it's a big threat.
Okay, it was just really weird to me. It's the only competitive use Ingrain has, just anywhere, as far as I know.
Maybe in AG there's got some Baton Pass Chain, but aside from that, yeah.
It's a weird set. Anyway, so yeah, I think I may have let go of Bush Talk, so that may have been a weird pause. But yeah, so that's Xerneas basically. Amazing win con with the Geomancy, and the Z-Geomancy is a weird win con.
Yep.
And then just this generation, we saw, at least as far as I can tell from reading the viability rankings, we saw a rise in Arceus-Ground. So,
Defog Arceus-Ground became good because the other Defog Arceuses became worse. Things like Arceus Dragon became a lot worse, and things like Arceus Water have just not adapted well to the new meta. There were things like Celesteela coming, which walls Arceus-Ground as much as it walls Arceus Water, but if not more so. But things like Ferrothorn getting higher usage, Arceus-Ground, OHKOing Primal Groudon being, well, not OHKOing, but doing a hefty chunk of it with just Judgment is very nice for it. It just, the meta changes have led to Arceus-Ground being a better defogger this generation than it was last generation. It's still, I think that it's overrated as a defogger. I feel like SD is a threat, a massive threat, and should never be discounted, but the defensive set is just kind of meh to me. But SD got a massive buff with the fact that it now gets Tectonic Rage because it can break through a bunch of walls that it previously couldn't. And also things like Lugia and Giratina Origin and regular Giratina are not as common as they were in previous generations, so they're not as big of a threat to it. So yeah, Arceus Ground rose because of those reasons, basically. And also because the other Arceus forms all collectively got worse. Like Arceus Ghost, Arceus Normal, Arceus Rock, Arceus Dark all got worse, and Arceus Ground kind of just tread water, so it stayed at the same level-ish.
Right. So Arceus, okay, yeah, that makes sense then. Just because other Arceus got worse and Tectonic Rage is cool.
Yeah, basically.
So
well, there's a couple more reasons, but I'm narrowing it down a little bit.
All right, so that's basically, as far as that's basically the extent of my knowledge of the Uber's metagame right now. So, is there any mon you'd like to talk about still?
I think we've probably covered most of them, and this is a 40-minute call now as well.
Oh, that happens. That happens every time I do this.
Yeah. No, I'm just. Any particular mon, like, not really. In all honesty, Ho-Oh is worth a mention as one of the best mons in the tier, as is Mega Gengar, both of which are pretty well known in terms of what they do, just in terms of like trapping and just being a massive threat with Ho-Oh and Gengar respectively. But yeah, I think we covered most of them.
All right, in that case, I think we're going to end this off here. Thank you so much for joining me, man. I really, really appreciate it. And
no problem. Happy to help. Anytime you got any Uber's question, hit me up.
All right, thank you so much. And I'm also going to link your channel in the description below, of course. Check him out, please. These videos are great. I love the draft. I subscribed to your channel for the Validified drama, and I stayed for the draft leaks. I love them so much.
That's good then.
Thanks.
I've kind of been biting off a lot though. Need to cut down.
Thank you for joining me, and I'm going to go into the team builder, and I will see you guys there. So, we're back. I really hope you enjoyed that. Aberforth is a great guy. Thank you. Shout out to him for joining me for that. I really appreciate it. He also is the one who made this team, as we mentioned in the discussion. So that's going to be really cool, because I get to actually showcase what his team was, how it worked. I hope, because I'm really, really bad at Ubers, so, you know, this is going to be kind of trash. But who cares? I'm just going to go through this team now. So, we start off with the Palkia. Now, Palkia, as we know, is Water Dragon type, which is kind of an awkward typing for Ubers, right? Because Groudon exists, and Palkia doesn't really have the typing to take the moves to take advantage of Groudon switching in. As such, it's kind of screwed over by that Pokemon, but that doesn't mean it's useless, because its Spatial Rend does still hit it very, very hard. It also has access to Z Heal Block, which is a set, of course, we're using right here, which gives it a +2 special attack boost and removes healing from whatever is in at the moment, which is really useful when you're trying to break through something like Lugia or a... I don't fucking know what even are walls in Ubers, like Lugia or a Blissey or a... Arceus. Some Arceus forms run recover. A lot of them do, actually. You know, you get the point. Breaking through walls, they can't recover health, which is really, really nice. Spatial Rend is a really, really good stat move for Palkia, because 100 base power, 95% accuracy, that's plenty. It's Dragon type, which is just general good coverage in Ubers. And with Hydro Pump, it's almost unresisted. It's not entirely unresisted, because Ferrothorn is fairly common. But that's what we have Fire Blast for. We nuke a Ferrothorn completely, it has no chance. And yeah, it's going to die. Even at this +0, I believe we still kill. I will check that right now. Ferrothorn should die. Yeah, it does. Even at +0, it just drops, which is fine. Though we are timid, so I should calc for timid. That is gonna be throw me off otherwise. Yeah, 93.8% chance to Oko. Basically, what Palkia struggles with is that it's not super powerful before boost. As you can see, it only barely Okos a Ferrothorn with Fire Blast, which is bad for a Wall Breaker. And its speed isn't the greatest. It really does struggle with it, kinda, which means it kinda struggles against offensive teams. But that's fine, because Palkia is just incredibly strong, and if you can manage to fix up that speed stat, I say incredibly strong, I just said it wasn't very strong. At +2 it's very, very strong, and it's going to take some lives at +2. Anyway, you want to patch up that speed set so that when you set up, you actually win the game. And for that, we have a Smeargle with a Sticky Web. Now, we all know what Sticky Web does, I'm not going to go over that. It drops the speed of your opponent. Perfect! So now, we have a Palkia that's not only really, really strong at +2, but also outspeeds an entire team, which is what this entire team is based on. Aberforth built this team around Palkia, and I just straight up stole it there. I added nothing about it. Like, nothing at all. I basically talked to him. I had a team build, which I built together with Viper. And then we said, like, you know, and then I said, you know, this team doesn't work very well. I've never built an Ubers team before. Viper doesn't have an insane amount of experience, so we'll just drop this team and we'll go. I'll use Aberforth team because I knew it existed from one of his videos. I'll of course link his channel in the description. I don't know if I mentioned yet that he's also a YouTuber. I'm going to link his channel in the description, but yeah. So this is his team, completely stolen, and this is the entire thing. What's based on Palkia on webs, which is really, really scary. I don't know why this has 4 special attack EVs when I don't have a special attack. I'll move this to... Nuzzle is physical. Yeah, Nuzzle is physical. Weird. Anyway, yeah, this Smeargle is all about hazard control with Sticky Web, Stealth Rock, and Taunt. Pretty good at controlling the hazards. And with Nuzzle, it can paralyze something like a Taunt, a Veltal that decides to be annoying, or something like that. Nuzzle is pretty good utility. I don't know if I'll be clicking it this video, but maybe we will, maybe we don't. Otherwise, yeah, you set webs, which is just so fucking good, and then you die. Nothing more than that, really. Next up is our Mega Mewtwo-Y. Now, this functions basically the same way Abra does in LC webs, which I do know very well. It is insanely powerful. It has good coverage, and it cannot really be revenge killed when everything gets slowed down. There are quite a few flying types and a lot of fast flying types too in Ubers, like Yveltal, like Ho-Oh, stuff like that, that are immune to Stick You Up, which kind of sucks for the team in general, but especially for Mega Mewtwo, because it's going to die to Yveltal. Like that's really annoying. But there's not much I can do about that. Like, this thing is just really, really scary for so many teams. 140 base speed is insane. Like, that is so ridiculous. This is just 416 speed. That is so ridiculous, honestly. And then it has 194 base special attack. That entirely insane. Then it has Taunt to be annoying. Side Strike because Stab it's super powerful. 100 base power, just really, really strong. Ice Beam hits Yveltal and some other stuff and Mega Salamence, I guess. Fire Blast hits Ferrothorn and other steel types. Nothing special about the set, really, just pretty standard, honestly. Fire Blast also hits Aegislash, I guess, though Shadow Ball could do that, so you know. That's basically it for Mega Mewtwo-Y. Now, we have a standard Xerneas set. Just Power Up Geomancy, Moonblast, Thunder, Focus Blast. Very standard. We talked about this Pokemon in discussion. Very, very scary setup sweeper. We're not running the set Geomancy set that we talked about, just regular Geomancy because it's better on the webs. It's capable of just cleaning up teams after it's been weakened by like 4 wall breakers in Palkia, Mega Mewtwo, Groudon, and Marshadow, because our Groudon is a wall breaker. At +2 it can basically it can definitely 2 KO everything. Oko most things. It does like 70% of Primal Groudon with Moonblast after setting up because of Fairy Aura boost, which is entirely insane. As you can see, we don't have a lot of speed investment. I do not know why this spread exists. As I said, it's Aberforth team. I don't know anything about this. But it's usually enough to outspeed everything we need to outspeed, especially on webs, so it's fine. That's pretty much it for it's a super standard set. Thunder is for Primal Kyogre, if you haven't guessed. And Focus Blast hits steel types, because it misses out on Solgaleo, and it misses out on Magearna, and it misses out on Aegislash, which is kind of annoying. But Aegislash and Solgaleo don't really exist, so it's just Magearna. And like Magearna, you just need to not set up with Xerneas as long as Magearna is alive, basically. Next up is our Primal Groudon, which, as talked about in the discussion, is a double dance variant. That means that Sword Sand means that Rock Polish and then 2 moves. Precipice Blades is the obligatory stab move because ground is broken as fuck, and Stone Edge hits everything that is immune to ground, basically. This thing is so strong. Like, just let its stats speak for itself, man. 504 attack before setting up. This isn't boosted by an ability. This is just base. 504. And then it has 230 speed. Isn't a lot, but it's plenty for after Rock Polish. What does suck is that Groudon actually gets outsped by Marshadow. By a -1 Marshadow. Unless it's boosted Groudon. So I do need to boost if there's a Marshadow. Otherwise it steals my Sword Stance boost, which is really, really bad. But otherwise, if you get both up, you win the game. If you get an SD up against a slower team, you win the game. If you get a Rock Polish up against an offensive team, you win the game. This thing is so powerful. It's actually insane. This shit just Oko's Arceus-Ground at +2, which is one of the best Primal Groudon tracks in the game. So, that's fun, right? Great Pokemon. Okay. Anyway, as we said in the discussion, this thing is insanely versatile. You can change the set to almost anything. You can change it to SD Stealth Rock, 4 attack with Eruption, or Eruption or Overheat, whatever you feel like. Fucking, this thing is so stupid versatile. Even its offensive sets have so much versatility. We're going with Double Dance though. Just really solid win condition, and also a really solid wall breaker, and yeah, even a Revenge Killer if you really want to. Just really, really strong. Sets up in half the metagame. Really, really good Pokemon. It's amazing. And next up is our Marshadow. Now, we also talked extensively about Marshadow with Aberforth, of course. This Pokemon is insane for the Uber's metagame. Not that it's broken, but that it just changed so much. Because suddenly, Your stat boosts aren't safe unless you also boost speed, because Marshadow is always faster. And even if you do, you get a Life Orb Technician boosted Tap Shadow Sneak in your face. It basically prevents any Swords Dance Arceus form from existing, which is insane. I am running Bulk Up on this set, which does leave me completely basically walled by Mega Salamence, which is really annoying, but it's fine really. I gotta remove that. Okay. EV Spread super basic, as you can see. The moves, as again, very, very basic. Just dual stabs and then Bulk Up and then Shadow Sneak. +1 Marshadow does a shitload of damage. Just absolutely ridiculous. This thing also just 2-hit KOs Primal Groudon, I believe. Which of course doesn't have any form of recovery, because no leftovers and no Morning Sun. If it got Morning Sun, it would go to Anything Goes, probably, because then you can't kill it anymore. It gets 75% health back every time then. That's irrelevant though. That's theory money. Anyway, that's it for the team, really. I really enjoy using this team. It's Webs, which is one of my favorite playstyles on Little Cup, and that transfers to Ubers, that's for sure. I love playing Webs so much. Really, it's just a ton of fun. And basically that's it. I'm gonna go into the matches now, and I will see you guys there. And here we go for the first Ubers match of this series. Now there is the Yveltal, which is really annoying. There's also a Primal Groudon, which is gonna be seen everywhere. My team doesn't really have a Primal Groudon switch in, per se. So we're just gonna sack stuff to it, basically. However, I think I can safely lead Smeargle. He leads Kangaskhan. Okay, that isn't fun. I go Marshadow here on the fake out, and probably just click Close Combat. He Earthquakes. Okay, he's smart, I'm just gonna Close Combat. I'm not risking anything. As he goes into his own Marshadow, I kinda wanna risk this speed tie. Do I need Marshadow this game really badly? I really don't. I'm gonna Shadow Sneak. Ah, damn, he wins the tie. Okay, that's fine. I'm just gonna set up my webs now. That's important. I can also Nuzzle him first. I'm gonna Nuzzle first to get him paralyzed. He can't Shadow Sneak me anyway, so it's fine. Because I'm normal types. Paralyzing this is pretty important. I'm gonna set webs now. By doing it in this order, I get off both instead of just one, which is really useful. I think I just go Primal Groudon here. To be honest, can I win? I don't know what his Arceus form is yet. But I might be able to win, if I'm perfectly honest. But I'm not gonna try yet. I'm just gonna click Precipice Blade. He Shadow Sneaks. And he's dead. Okay, Marshadow's gone. That's great for Mega Mewtwo. What Arceus form are you? You're going to Yveltal. I don't think you can kill me. Groudon Primal. Presumably this set. I don't even know what fucking set I am. Okay, let's get a more offensive set in here. I should be able to live. I do live. He lives too. Okay, well that's less than good. I'll just go into Xerneas here. He's likely choiced. Nope, he is not choiced. Gains back a good amount of HP. I'm just gonna Moonblast. He knocks off my Power Orb. Interesting. He thought I was going for Geomancy, I guess. Now I definitely can't Geomancy anymore this game though. Oh fuck, my Marshadow's dead. This is a problem. I just Focus Blast. Yeah, I was scared of that. Now he's gonna E-speed my team. Palkia might live one. I hope. I'm just gonna have to hope for this to live one. I do! And I land the Space Shore and then he's dead. Okay, we're fine. We're fine. Nothing as bad is going on at all. This thing comes in. Mega Mewtwo's going to start claiming some life soon. Very soon. Here we are. Let's go. He might Sucker Punch me. As he doesn't, he Body Slams. Ooh, that's gonna do damage. Does he get the Para too? Okay, yeah, that's probably game then. Unless I can somehow Oko his team. I have to try to go for the Swords Dance here. I don't think I can not go for... Xerneas. How much... Do you die to Groudon? Press, no you don't. I need an SD. He kills me. Okay, yeah. He just EQs. I had to SD there. I could have hoped for a crit, I guess. But I wasn't gonna kill his Xerneas otherwise. Yeah, that's the sad part. Like, I shouldn't have risked my Marshadow so early, I guess. That was probably bad. Could have just gone Xerneas pretty safely and clicked Moonblast. That would have been fine. That's my own fault though. I didn't estimate. I thought I'd do much more to make a Kangaskhan with my Mewtwo. He also got the para, which kind of sucked, but like, he gets 2 hits off, which means it's basically 50-50 to get the para or not. So yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna go into the next one, and I will see you guys there. And we're back for the second game. We are facing Ho-Oh, Veltal, Gengar, Mega Gengar of course, Primal Groudon, Magearna and Arceus, which I don't know which form it is of course. I am pretty sure I'm just gonna lead Smeargle. As he leads Groudon. He can't prevent me from setting webs as far as I know. As he fire punches. I also get up rocks now. Oh, never mind, he gets the burn. That's actually really bad. Oh my god. That actually kinda sucks. I do not like that at all. What the fuck? I'd have gotten rocks up for the Ho-Oh. This Pokemon isn't super useful this game, so I'm just gonna close combat. As he goes Ho-Oh, that's fine. I just still do a lot. Jesus. Wait, that's a really offensive Ho-Oh set. Holy shit. Marshadow. That's... what? I did 42%. It's like... Life Orb Attacker? I still did more than this. What the... What is he? This is what he is. Do I kill? I think I kill. I kill. Okay, his Ho-Oh's dead. That's cool. I'll take that. I need to be careful with that Arceus though, because it's kind of scary. Oh, he goes... It's Arceus-Ground. I kind of just want to close combat and wall break. Because it's not... I kind of want this for the Gengar though. No, I'm just gonna wall break. I just want this thing low. That did a lot of damage. Wow. I see Defox. Okay, that is kind of annoying, but his Arceus-Ground he is now dead. He goes to this, that's fine. I just I Shadow Sneak. That will kill. He protects. I can just switch out. I don't think he realizes, but I can just Shadow Sneak here again. He goes this. I've done so much with this Marshadow already at this point. He's leftovers. Okay, that's important to note. He fell tall. He's probably physically defensive then. My Shadow Sneak did 18%. He's not physically defensive. I'm just going Xerneas though. Like, that's fine. He Oblivion Wings. Now, he's likely going into Gengar. That's the thing. Do I Oko Mega Gengar? With a +2 Xerneas. So if I do, I'm gonna set up here. I do with Thunder. I'm gonna set up. As he goes, oh, he has a Magearna. Of course he has. That was stupid. That's a misplay. It's fine though. I'm just gonna Moonblast. Do as much damage as I can. Like, that still does 42. He just hard swaps. Yeah, I know that's a thing that he does. That was stupid of me. Really stupid. What does Magearna run? In Ubers. It runs no speed, but Marshadow is still faster. I'll go Groudon here. I don't really think this threatens me at all. The Floor Cannons, that did a lot, but it's not gonna do all that much anymore now. I kinda want a Rock Polish. Though his Arceus-Ground is really weakened. I want a Rock Polish here. Let's see what I can make happen. This is gonna die. Veltal is not at all weakened, but that's fine. I think Palkia has a shot at sweeping here. As long as I land moves with Groudon. I can calc based on Xerneas damage, on Yveltal's damage on the Xerneas, what set he is. I can't, how much investment do you have? Okay, Dark Pulse. Oh no, Oblivion Wing. What I'm supposed to calc for? That did... This looks about right. 28%. Yeah, that seems about right. So now I know what set he is. How much do you do to Groudon? This set, I think, is what I am. 30 to 35. Do I want to SD here? Is the question. I'm gonna try. I do take it. Oh yeah, Sucker Punch. Okay, that's too bad then. I just gotta... what I want to do here is, I think, go Xerneas, then double into Palkia on the Magearna, set up the Z heal block and start doing damage. I think that's what I'm gonna do. He does go Magearna, that's good. I'm gonna set heal block here and start doing some significant damage. He is gonna floor count me probably. Oh, he missed. Oh, that's big. I'm gonna Fire Blast him. Okay, he's angry in chat. I don't care. Marshadow is also really good here still. What? What's going on? Yeah, that Magearna is dead as fuck. I mean, this dies and doesn't kill me as far as I know. He Destiny Bombs. Okay, that's smart. That's definitely smart. I just need to weaken this Yveltal at this point. That's all I need to do. I'm just gonna close combat here, and then I can Mewtwo and... as he does Fire Punch. Okay. I need to play this well now. Mewtwo, Mega-Y against Groudon, Primal. It could be this. It's not that, right? Marshadow did way more than he does to this set. How much did I do? I did 46%. Actually, that does look like that set. I'm going to Moonblast here. Do I Moonblast here? No, I just need this Primal Groudon in Xerneas range, basically. So I Ice Beam here to make sure that Yveltal doesn't switch in for free. Neither of these are ideal solutions. If he goes Yveltal here, that's awkward because I don't think I kill. As he stays in, okay, that's good. He's in Ice Beam range. As he dies, okay. I should be able to just kill this Yveltal with Xerneas now. I'm just gonna play around his Sucker Punches for fun. See how long I can keep that up. Ah, he just Sucker Punches again. Now this is gonna be close. Let's see if I can kill. I should be able to kill, I feel. As I think I do. I do, okay. I don't know how much that Floor Cannon miss mattered, if I'm perfectly honest. Because, let me see the calc for that. Palkia against Magearna in Uber Special Defense. Oh no, that's the wrong one. Magearna Special Defensive. It had a chance to kill. Okay, yeah, I guess. Probably matter then. Either way though, the chance to not kill is bigger than the chance to kill because of 10% miss chance, so it wasn't in my favor. It was a risky play, but yeah. Basically that. Anyway, I'm gonna go with the next one, and I will see you guys there. And for the third game, we're facing Marshadow, Primal Groudon, Magearna, Yveltal, Arceus, and Rayquaza. This is a terrible matchup for us because we don't really have a Groudon switch in. Magearna is really annoying. Yveltal is really annoying. Arceus could be really annoying. Marshadow is really. Oh, this is just a terrible matchup. I am just gonna lead Smeargle, and I'm going to Nuzzle. I've done this before. I have showed how I do this before. I just want my webs up mainly. I get the para. Unless he's Scarf, I outspeed and I get the sticky webs up. He close combats again. And I can just go into... I could go into my own Marshadow. I can also just go into Xerneas. But he would go Magearna on that easily. I'm just gonna go my own Marshadow and Shadow Sneak really. I don't think he saves his Marshadow here. He does. Okay, that's fine play. Not one I entirely agree with. I do some damage to the Yveltal. I don't see leftovers this time, okay? It's an important to note. I see Oblivion Wings. Now, I'm fairly certain he goes Magearna on this. So I'm going Groudon. Yes, he does go Magearna. Okay. Now here's the thing, if I set up an SD, I outspeed his team, except for the probably Rayquaza, which is annoying. This Magearna cannot touch me. What does he go into here though? He could be Arceus-Ground, which means I want to set up an SD. Because then I kill with Precipice Blades on SD. He doesn't need Arceus-Ground. Okay, I call that one right, that's really good. Because now I straight up kill him with Precipice Blades. I missed! Are you kidding me? No. I mean, I haven't missed a move yet with this Groudon in video, so I guess... Damn, that's annoying. He goes that, yeah, I mean, that is actually so annoying. Fuck, that thing would have been dead. Didn't have a chance to live. He Dragon Ascends, okay. This invites in my Mewtwo to Ice Beam. That's so annoying. Yeah, he's... Oh, that's so annoying. On a Side Strike. Yeah, why didn't I Ice Beam? That was stupid. I should have Ice Beamed. My bad. Should have seen that one coming. I'm gonna Ice Beam now though. I don't think he Sucker Punches. Not nearly every Yveltal runs that. What? It's physically impossible to do that little damage. He's Assault Vest. It is possible because he's Assault Vest. Okay. Well, that's fucking stupid. He's Assault Vest. I didn't even know that was a set. Jesus. I'll go Marshadow this time. So he goes Magearna again. I'm clicking Close Combat. I need to weaken this, basically. I need him to use Fleur Cannon so that I can go Palkia and hopefully take some lives. This isn't taking this very well. Oh, I took it pretty well. I'm gonna Close Combat again. He probably defogs here, which is bad. Man, that early miss sucked so bad. He did that. Okay, that's interesting. I'll go Palkia. He recovers again. I don't know if he knows what this Palkia does. I kind of just want to. I'm just gonna set up. At this point, I think it might be done, or the game might be over already because of that early miss. Just threw me over so badly. He goes into this. I don't agree with that play because now I get a Hoo block off. And I get to kill this anyway. Shadow Sneak is going to do damage, but not an insane amount. Probably not an E-speed range. I know his Yveltal is Assault Vest, meaning it is not Scarf. I Fire Blast his Magearna now, which is cool. So also dead, nice. Okay, we might be able to catch back up. He goes with Yveltal. I outspeed and Spatial Rend here. I don't kill because fucking Assault Vest. But yeah, like 6 everything's so awkward. That fucking Assault Vest. He has a Groudon alive, which is really bad for my Xerneas still. I don't see Sucker Punch killing at this range. I don't know how much investment he has, of course, but I just don't see it killing. He goes into this again. Okay. I should have gone to Mewtwo-Y on that. That was easy to predict. I didn't do that though. I have to go Mewtwo-Y now on the predicted recover and click Ice Beam. That's my play. He Judgment. Okay, yeah, that's probably game then. I have to set up now with Xerneas. I have no choice but to set up here. And hope to god I crit the Primal Groudon or something. Or that he doesn't kill somehow. What does he do? He Toxics. Okay. Moonless you. He probably E-speeds with Rayquaza now and kills me. He goes to Yveltal. He's gonna Sucker Punch, that's gonna do 0. 16%. Yeah, I'm in E-speed range now for sure. There's no way that I'm not. There's it. There it is. There's the E-speed. I mean, I can go Marshadow here because the E-speed is obvious and I might as well preserve my Xerneas. See if I can make some... He Dragon... He's an idiot! I could have won the game there! Fuck. I really didn't think he'd be that dumb. Fuck. Oh, he's... No, yeah. I mean... Okay. That was an unfortunate game, honestly. Just that... If I get that early kill... If I get that kill onto Arceus-Ground, I win the game. Because then I have a +2 Groudon on the field with nothing that can outspeed it without taking a million and nothing that can even reliably kill it. Right? I could have just set up a Rock Polygon next thing that comes in. Unless it's a Marshadow, which I just Precipice Blades. So I basically win the game from that point, which is just really unfortunate. I think I actually genuinely win the game. No, actually his Rayquaza was faster, so he could have just served me. But then even then, I just set up again on the Magearna later. Right? So unfortunate. It's just so disappointing whenever that happens. But whatever, I got to show off Ubers. I didn't play very well. I think that's kind of disappointing, honestly. I played better games even today while testing, but it's whatever. Shit happens, man. With that, I'm gonna end this video here. I'm gonna up the counter because we're done with Palkia. Next episode, we're going to Little Cup. We're gonna be playing around with Skitty. Now, while I'm not a huge fan of Skitty, it's definitely a cute Pokemon. It's pretty bad though. But I'm gonna have a special guest on that video, most likely, that does really, really like Skitty. I'm gonna see you guys there. For now, I'm out. Peace.